Hello, future scientists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of organic chemistry. Today, we are diving deep into alkanes, the simplest yet foundational class of hydrocarbons. Specifically, we'll explore the various methods used to prepare these versatile compounds. From basic concepts to advanced competitive insights, we'll cover everything you need for your advanced preparation. Get ready for a 4-level challenge: easy, medium, hard, and hardest. Let's begin. Ready to discover how we make these fundamental molecules? Let's start with the basics of alkane preparation, keeping it simple and clear. Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons, meaning they contain only single bonds between carbon atoms. Their general formula is CnH2n+2, and they are crucial as fuels and solvents. One of the simplest ways to make them is through hydrogenation. This involves adding hydrogen gas to alkenes or alkynes, which have double or triple bonds. We use catalysts like finely divided nickel, platinum, or palladium. For example, ethene, with its double bond, reacts with hydrogen over a nickel catalyst and heat to form ethane. It's like filling up the empty spots with hydrogen. Another straightforward method is reducing alkyl halides. Alkyl halides are compounds where a halogen atom is attached to an alkyl group. We can replace this halogen with a hydrogen atom to form an alkane. Common reducing agents include zinc and hydrochloric acid. Imagine swapping out a chlorine atom for a hydrogen in chloromethane, and you get methane, the simplest alkane. These fundamental reactions lay the groundwork for more complex syntheses. Now, let's test your understanding with a few practice questions. Take a moment to think about the general formula of alkanes, the catalysts used in hydrogenation, and how to convert a simple alkyl halide into an alkane. Pause the video if you need more time, and remember, practice is key to mastering these concepts. Great job with the easy level. Now, let's step up our game and explore more detailed methods for preparing alkanes, uncovering deeper explanations and specific applications. We revisit catalytic hydrogenation, also known as the Sabatier-Cendrens reaction. This isn't just about adding hydrogen, it's a sophisticated process where reactants adsorb onto a catalyst surface, hydrogen bonds break, and atoms add sequentially. Platinum and palladium catalysts are highly efficient, working at milder conditions, while nickel requires higher temperatures. This reaction is industrially significant, for example, in converting liquid vegetable oils into solid fats like margarine by saturating their double bonds. Next, let's look at more ways to prepare alkanes from alkyl halides. Besides zinc HCl, red phosphorus and high form a powerful reducing system capable of converting various functional groups, including alkyl halides, into alkanes. A versatile method involves Grignard reagents. An alkyl halide reacts with magnesium to form RMGX, which then reacts with water to yield an alkane. This highlights the reactivity of organometallic compounds. The Wurtz reaction, using sodium metal in dry ether, couples two alkyl halide molecules to form a symmetrical alkane. While effective for compounds like butane from bromoethane, its major drawback is producing a mixture of products if you try to make an unsymmetrical alkane. Finally, decarboxylation involves heating a carboxylic acid salt with soda lime, a mixture of NaOH and CaO. This removes a carbon atom as CO2, yielding an alkane with one less carbon. The CaO in soda lime prevents NaOH from fusing and makes the mixture porous, aiding the reaction. Time for some medium-level challenges. Think about why dry ether is essential in the Wurtz reaction and its limitations. Consider how Grignard reagents are used to synthesize alkanes and the role of soda lime in decarboxylation. These questions will help solidify your understanding of these crucial preparation methods. All right, champions. It's time to tackle the hard level. We are moving beyond mere descriptions to in-depth analysis, mechanisms, and strategic synthetic choices. let's dive deeper into catalytic hydrogenation. It's a heterogeneous process involving precise steps: reactant diffusion, adsorption onto the catalyst surface, bond dissociation, reaction, and product desorption. This surface interaction ensures *SYN addition*, where both hydrogen atoms add from the same face of the molecule. We also analyze the Wurtz reaction's limitations: poor yields for unsymmetrical alkenes due to product mixtures and competing elimination reactions, especially with bulky halides. Decarboxylthione, while useful for chain shortening, isn't ideal for methane synthesis through Kolbe's electrolysis. Now, let's explore Kolbe's electrolytic method. Here, an aqueous solution of a carboxylic acid salt is electrolyzed. At the anode, carboxylate ions form free radicals, decarboxylate, and then two alkyl radicals combine to form a symmetrical alkane. However, it's not suitable for methane and can produce side products like alkenes. A more controlled approach for unsymmetrical alkanes is the Cory-House synthesis. It uses lithium dialkyl cuprates, known as Gilman reagents, to react with alkyl halides, providing a clean, high-yield route to specific unsymmetrical alkanes, overcoming the Wurtz limitation. Finally, let's consider reducing carbonyl compounds and alcohols to alkanes. Clemmensen reduction, using zinc amalgam and concentrated HCl, is perfect for acid-stable aldehydes and ketones. Conversely, the Wolff-Kishner reduction, employing hydrazine and a strong base, is ideal for base-stable compounds. For a powerful, general reduction, heating with high and red phosphorus can convert alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, and even carboxylic acids into alkanes. Understanding these specific conditions is vital for choosing the right method in multi-step synthesis. Now, let's test your analytical skills with these hard-level questions. Ponder the limitations of the Wurtz reaction for specific products, the mechanism of Kolbe's electrolysis, and how Cory-House synthesis offers a superior alternative. Think about choosing between Clemmensen and Wolff-Kishner reductions based on molecular stability. These questions demand a deeper understanding of reaction specifics. Welcome to the ultimate challenge, the hardest level. Here, we'll push the boundaries of your knowledge, exploring competitive depth, industrial insights, green chemistry, and advanced synthetic strategies critical for advanced success. Let's revisit hydrogenation with thermodynamics and kinetics. It's highly exothermic, meaning it releases heat, making it thermodynamically favorable. However, catalysts are crucial to overcome the high activation energy. We'll also examine catalyst poisoning, where impurities deactivate the catalyst, a major industrial challenge. In stereochemistry, heterogeneous hydrogenation typically yields *SYN addition due to the surface interaction. For alkyl halide reductions, agents like Lyell-4 operate via different mechanisms, impacting stereochemical outcomes, while regioselectivity allows us to target specific functional groups in complex molecules. Now, for truly advanced synthesis. The Fischer-Tropsch synthesis is an industrial marvel, converting syngas from coal or natural gas into liquid fuels, including alkanes, using iron or cobalt catalysts. It's a complex process with immense strategic importance. Another method, hydroboration protonolysis, offers a unique way to convert alkenes into alkanes with specific regiochemistry, effectively achieving an anti-Markovnikov hydration followed by reduction. These methods demonstrate sophisticated control over molecular transformations. Green chemistry principles are increasingly vital. We'll evaluate methods based on atom economy, how efficiently reactant atoms are incorporated into the product. Hydrogenation is excellent, while Wurtz reaction generates significant salt waste. Solvent choice, catalyst reuse, and waste minimization are key considerations for sustainable synthesis. Industrially, petroleum refining remains the primary source of alkanes, involving distillation and cracking. Natural gas directly provides methane and ethane. Economic factors, including raw material costs and energy consumption, dictate the feasibility of large-scale production alongside environmental impact assessments. Finally, we focus on synthetic strategy and retrosynthetic analysis. This involves working backward from a target molecule to identify simpler precursors and appropriate reactions. For alkanes, this means choosing between C to C bond-forming reactions like Wurtz or Corey-House, or various reduction methods. Understanding the strengths, limitations, and stereochemical implications of each method is paramount for designing efficient, high-yield syntheses. Mastering this strategic thinking is what truly separates top performers. Alright, here are the first 5 hardest level questions. These problems demand a comprehensive understanding of mechanisms, industrial implications, and green chemistry principles. Take your time, analyze each question thoroughly, and apply all the advanced concepts we've discussed. Remember, these are designed to challenge your deepest understanding. And here are questions 6 through 10, pushing your analytical and problem-solving skills even further. Consider multi-step synthesis, compare different methods for specific products, and think critically about the underlying chemical principles. These questions are your ultimate test for JEE Advanced preparation. Good luck! You've journeyed through the fascinating world of alkane preparation, from foundational concepts to JEE Advanced level insights. We've covered everything from basic hydrogenation to complex industrial synthesis and green chemistry principles. To continue your learning and access more such high-quality educational content, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and more in-depth lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep aiming for excellence.